AI. AI is going to, they're planning on it affecting the airline industry. So, how is it going to affect the airline industry? They say with pricing. Now, finding a price for an airplane ride is already chaotic. And I don't understand how to find the best price. You look on it one day, it's going to be very high. Look on it the next day, it's going to be a little cheaper. Then it might jump back up. It's going to be fluctuating. But they're trying to do an AI pricing to help. They say to help pricing, but at the end of the day, it's just going to make it more confusing. So let's jump over into that and see what's going to happen. Let's jump right into it.
I think it's fair to say an industry that treats its customers worse than almost any other besides private prisons, right? And I'm talking about airlines, obviously. It's already the most convoluted and difficult to understand pricing structure that you can imagine. They do this purposely to hurt their consumers, right? And they're going to make it worse with AI. How's this possible?
All right, so the airlines would argue that they're not making things worse for their consumers. They're merely finding the best price, optimizing their business or what have you. But what is happening, what I wrote about today, is there's a startup out there. It's called Fetcher. They're working with Delta. That's their most prominent deal. Delta's actually been talking about this startup quite a lot over the last 6 months or so. Got my hands on a sales document that they use, and it describes kind of what they're doing. And it really gives you a vision for how buying a ticket will work. This kind of confusing feeling where you don't know whether you're getting a good deal today or tomorrow. Maybe if you wait, it'll be a better deal. Maybe if you hold off. They want to make it actually way more complicated. They want to add more fare classes, lots of shifting around. And as Delta has talked about, AI pricing, they've talked about it as this great thing because from an investor point of view, right, it makes sense. Investors love being able to raise incremental revenue, and they also love AI right now. But consumers, those are not necessarily things that they want. And you're seeing a backlash going on right now where you've had a bunch of lawmakers and so on essentially write letters complaining to Delta. Also, American Airlines saying we're never going to price with AI, or we're not going to price. Now, I think most people who watch the industry assume that everyone will do this because it's going to be a powerful tool essentially to raise additional revenue. See if you'll pay, hey, maybe you'll pay $20 more for that ticket, maybe $40 more. And that was actually the example that Delta gave during an investor day.
Josh Hawley, the senator from Missouri, said, it's the worst thing I have heard from the already awful airline industry. And this is something I think no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you can agree with Josh. It's just a horrible industry.
I think you're going to see a lot of stories like this because this isn't only happening in airlines. And that's one of the points one of the people I talked to for the story made. We're seeing AI and pricing in other places. Of course, you see it when you do ride hailing. And there are efforts underway. This company that is working with Delta right now and some other airlines is trying to go to other businesses. The idea is to bring this, most of us think of, we're going to have super intelligence and it's going to cure cancer. Maybe, hopefully. But what it's actually going to do is just, figure out how to wring a couple of extra dollars out of consumers because it's going to be able to hopefully, from the point of view of the companies, price things more aggressively.
Now, absolutely wild. Now, so this whole thing made me think about the Wendy. Y'all remember when a few years ago, Wendy was like, we're going to do surge pricing. Just like Uber or anything like that, they want to do surge pricing. So just to remind us of what that was, let's go back into this. If y'all remember this.
So next time you go to Wendy's, it might cost you more depending on what time you go.
The fast food chain is going to start testing out Uber-like surge charging in 2025, meaning at busier times, menu items may cost you a bit more. The chain also rolled out Wendy's Fresh AI drive-thru in several restaurants, which uses generative AI to take orders. Part of the surge pricing has to do with the $20 million cost of the new menu boards and technology. So basically, we are paying for their upgrades.
I didn't ask for that.
I didn't either.
I didn't ask for AI upgrades.
I'm old school. That's not a surprise. I don't like going to a McDonald's for a quick burger and a drink and have to look at the board and order my own stuff. and figure it out.
And not only if you're going to be going during a busier time, then you get hit with paying more on top of it. So it's going to take you longer to
Absolutely
get your
crazy.
food because the line's longer, and you got to pay more for it. I'm not sure I like this idea.
Yeah, if you want that Frosty at prime time, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, on 95-degree days, it's going
Yeah.
to cost you a little bit more.
How about
maybe.
that?
Okay.
Absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's what it made me think about. That completely slipped my mind when I was thinking about that. So it's going to be like surge pricing. That's what they're expecting it to be. You're going to have different times where it's going to cost more because more people are trying to get a flight. And then, but sometimes it feels like it's already like that. Now, how would you feel about that? On a day when it's going to be, well, it's going to surge throughout the day, where there might be different surge times. But Wendy's ultimately never ended up doing that. They issued a statement backtracking saying, no, we're not going to implement that because absolutely crazy. But tell me your thoughts. How do you feel about that? Now, like I said, trying to get a flight is already hectic in general. Trying to make sure you get the best deal. But trying to introduce more AI into it. This is one of the things where AI can be bad, or not bad, but just unimproving. It doesn't improve anything. It makes people more money. The owners of the airlines, yes, it makes them more money, but for the common people who are relying on it, it's taking a step in the wrong direction. Taking a step in the wrong direction. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But like I said, tell me your thoughts on that. Do you agree with the AI going into the airlines and making it more complicated? Or am I completely looking at it the wrong way and I'm thinking about it wrong? I always love to hear people's discussions. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm hitting off the mark. But I can't see anything good out of that. Now, if it's a system where, I don't know, maybe we're going through and it tells you the right time to book a trip to get the cheapest price. You can probably find those. They probably already have that out now. That is how, if AI makes it cheaper for the customer, I like that. I like that. I don't want AI just to be implemented to make the owners more money. It needs to be implemented to help the customers. Either improve it to make it where it's less hectic, or helps it to where it saves us money somehow. But how will you truly know if it's saving you money? It's like the Black Friday thing. They'll say it was costing more before you checked out. You know how that was a crazy scandal, or not scandal, but that was crazy. Yeah, instead of it being $20 regularly throughout the year, they say that it was $25, and they knock it down back to 20, saying that it's Black Friday deal. So that went absolutely crazy. But I had to talk about that because AI is going to be a big part of our life, and we need to see everything that is going to be implemented in, and see how it's going to affect us. But like I said, let me know your thoughts, and tell me if I'm hitting off the mark. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. Remember, this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.